चुका has more than 500 crore from unknown sources. So I want to ask, what exactly is Rahul Gandhi smoking, trying to castigate the BJP? पहले ये बताओ.
Just last week, what we saw in Himachal Pradesh, there was cross-voting. And all these are inducements by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So please see the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
That since 2014, there is a four-fold jump in ED cases against politicians, and 95% are from the opposition. That is the reality of India today.
उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डालते, चोरी ऊपर से सीना चोरी. Today the Aam Aadmi Party is hailing the Supreme Court verdict because the Supreme Court has said Manish Sisodia still deserves to be in jail.
When it comes to other party MLAs, MPs, opposition party MLAs, MPs who switch sides to the BJP, there is a free run, free for all, no questions asked.
If the BJP and the government has nothing to hide, then they must reveal that information.
If Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party are innocent, then Sanju Verma is Taylor Swift and Rajdeep Sardesai is Elvis Presley. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Sanjay Hegde, just to get a legal perspective to that, on a day, as I said, where the court has come down very strongly and said MPs cannot get immunity for prosecution for bribes they take, the entire issue of electoral bonds has now come up late this evening, and State Bank of India says we need more time. In your view, should the court be giving them more time, given that we are heading into a general election in a few weeks from now?
Well, I can't speak for the court. But as a lawyer, from a lawyer's perspective, on day one, I had predicted this. I had said that there would be an attempt to slow walk the judgment, the implementation of the judgment, so that the elections were safely over. Basically, what do you have? You have data points. Even if there were 22,000 electoral bonds which were actually issued, it is not that the data regarding each of their purchasers is a separate, discrete data point. Those 22,000 bonds would have probably been sold to about how many? 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. The question of matching each of those data points to the people who actually cashed each electoral bond. Because each of those bonds has a unique number. Even if you give the data as to who cashed how many bonds or how many bonds remained out of circulation, that they were issued but they were never encashed. Even so, by a process of elimination, it is not rocket science, it is not hard labor, it is not going over 1980s ledgers to try and figure out who has bought what and who cashed it.
Okay.
The Supreme Court would, in my view, do well to say, give us what you have so far. And then we will decide whether you made an honest effort to comply with our judgment.
More than 80% of the money's total donations via electoral bonds has gone to the 57.3%, sorry, has gone to the BJP. So 57.3% has gone to the BJP. Out of the total 11,450, and you can see the list of the other parties. But Adil Singh Boparai, in a way, the electoral bonds issue is now being used by the Congress to suggest that all these electoral bonds are being used by the BJP to fund their campaigns and for quid pro quos. Now, we don't know that till we actually see the details of that. According to Sanju Verma, the Congress is smelling a rat where none exists. Your response?
Mr. Sardesai, Ms. Sanju Verma's diatribe cannot be a substitute to facts. The Supreme Court has very categorically said that the entire scheme of electoral bonds militates against a participatory democracy and the essence of transparency, which is a sine qua non. Having said this, I don't want to open that chapter again because that issue has attained finality. Today, the SBI, which is an instrumentality of the state, the SBI chairman is appointed by the government of India. Ms. Verma should know this. Having said this, it is incumbent that they comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. The SBI cannot at the 11th hour come to the Supreme Court, seek an extension. Please, let's not forget we're in an election year. If the BJP and the government has nothing to hide, then they must reveal that information. And if they delay revealing that information, then we stand vindicated that the government is something to hide. And
Adil,
that
do you have
Mr.
no
Modi
faith in the
is
SBI?
making crony
Adil Singh
capitalism.
Boparai, sorry to intervene, but do you have no faith in the State Bank of India?
Rajdeep,
We have no faith.
No, ma'am, you must wait.
We have no faith. We have no faith in the BJP's machinations. The BJP is out to demolish democracy. And please see the irony, the Prime Minister hails today's judgment, but it is his very government and his very law officers which in 2022 had said that the dictum of law laid down in the Narasimha Rao judgment is correct and does not require reconsideration. Today you see a
I need to come in now.
No,
No,
please
you
let
cannot
me
come in now.
please let me complete. Today you
Yeah.
see a pattern where state governments are being toppled. You take the example of Himachal, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, attempts in Jharkhand, Kalikopur
This is not the topic of the
Please put a voice down. No, you must, no, ma'am. He must have his full word. Please go ahead, Adil.
Mr. Sardesai, there are umpteen judgments of the Supreme Court which have categorically held that the action of the Speaker and the Governor and the central government is deprecated because they have facilitated toppling of governments. Just last week, what we saw in Himachal Pradesh, there was cross-voting. And all these are inducements by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So please see the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party. On one hand, they talk about purity in the legislative stream. And on the other hand, they use muscle and money power to demolish democracy brick by brick in this country.
Akshay Marathe, the Aam Aadmi Party, where does it stand on this? Is the Aam Aadmi Party very clear that, because remember, a couple of your ministers are in jail at the moment on charges of corruption. Today, the Prime Minister said the Supreme Court judgment that there is no immunity for MLAs, MPs from taking bribes is a step in the right direction. Your response?
Rajdeep, much like the Prime Minister, even the Aam Aadmi Party would like to welcome today's Supreme Court verdict because the immunity being granted to MPs was indeed creating a permission structure for legalized lobbying to happen in our country. And it is a tragedy for the last 25 years we had that system in place. It is very unfortunate, but a historic wrong has been corrected today. And just like the Prime Minister has welcomed the verdict today, I am surprised that the BJP is not welcoming the verdict against electoral bonds as well. Because the electoral bonds was creating the same kind of permission structure for wholesale lobbying like the immunity being granted to MPs was creating on a retail basis. You look at the numbers, Rajdeep. Of the total electoral bonds, 57% were being given to just one party. Then we need to know who has been giving these donations. Now, of the donations that are actually revealed to the public, I want to tell your viewers that there is a portion of the political donations that do get revealed to the public. And News Laundry and News Minute conducted an investigation into those donations and found that of the 335 crore rupees that BJP got from 30 firms, those 30 firms are the same firms that were investigated by different agencies. So are we to see there is a link between investigative agencies and political donations being made to the BJP? Perhaps the BJP is afraid that if the electoral bonds are also revealed, that link will become much larger and the clear case of lobbying and legalized intimidation in return for political donations will come to the fore. The BJP and its donors perhaps are also afraid of that.
Can I, for a moment, before I come back to my politicians, just look at this larger case of the way this entire case developed in the Supreme Court of immunity from prosecution. Tarlochan Shastri, the irony of the matter is that for years political parties actually opposed the judgment in this JMM bribery case. They wanted protection. Our MLAs, MPs wanted protection. Now suddenly all of them are saying this will lead to cleaning up of public life. Should we take any of these MPs, MLAs at face value now when they are hailing the Supreme Court judgment? And will it change anything? Will it actually end horse trading or money power in the truest sense?
It remains to be seen, Rajdeep, because even though they are now open for prosecution, the prosecution is the CBI, the police and all are usually, I'm quoting the Supreme Court, I'm not saying anything sensational. The Supreme Court has said publicly that the CBI is a caged parrot, referring to the fact that it follows the dictats of the ruling party. So even if this is so, in principle and legally, we also welcome this judgment. but we would like to see how it is implemented, and we would like to see it implemented impartially and not selectively. So somebody just referred to the cross voting in Himachal. Somebody needs to investigate, why this cross voting took place, whether that cross voting was due to some consideration having been given to somebody or the other, and if so, then
but how
they
do you
should
do it?
prosecute
You
them.
see,
But I
Professor
doubt
Shastri, that's going to be very difficult. Whether it's in Karnataka, where there was cross voting, or in Himachal, who is going to investigate it? The agencies are going to have to do it. Will they actually do it? Because only if they do it in an impartial manner, Professor Shastri, will anything really come out. Otherwise, these are all fine words which will have no impact on the ground.
Yes, so the great fear is that whichever ruling party, I don't blame the current ruling party, even the other ruling party, they use these laws selectively to target the opposition rather than their own party members. So this is a big issue. So the court can't do anything about it. But I don't know, we all have to put our minds to make sure that, in an impartial way, bribery is stamped out from the voting in parliament.
Sanju Verma, it's very interesting. The Prime Minister today said that he hailed the Supreme Court judgment, saying it will help in the cleaning up of public life. But guess what? This very government opposed a reconsideration of the 1998 judgment in this PV Narasimha Rao JMM bribery case, on the ground that even the gross facts of a case will not justify taking away the immunity granted to legislators for their acts on the floor of the House. So today you are hailing it, but actually you all were opposing it in court. Today you are saying, even on electoral bonds, the same thing. The government has not yet come clean. Do you really want the details of SBI to be revealed to the wider public before the 2024 elections?
Rajdeep Sardesai, if you have the patience to listen to my rebuttal, I will respond. Because you have this bad habit of cutting the BJP right when it's making an important point. Do you have the patience as an anchor to listen to what I have to say? Then I will give the facts. Or you can do this debate without the BJP's voice.
Ma'am, I have the patience, but if you are going to be personal, I will.
And do you have the guts to listen to the truth? Do you have the guts to listen to the truth?
Please tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
Yes.
I have nothing to hide. Please tell me
Do
the
not
truth.
heckle me. Then Rajdeep Sardesai, please listen to the truth, because you have a panel where there are 5 people against the BJP. I'm the lone BJP voice. Please keep quiet now and let me make my point. I don't wish to be heckled by you. Thank you.
Please do.
First and foremost, let's be very clear. उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे, चोरी ऊपर से सीना जोरी. I will respond to the Aam Aadmi Party. Today the Aam Aadmi Party is hailing the Supreme Court verdict. This is the same Aam Aadmi Party which questions the credibility of Justice Chandrachud and his team. It questions the credibility of the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court has said Manish Sisodia still deserves to be in jail. This is the same Supreme Court, while rejecting the bail plea of Satinder Jain in the liquor scam, says he still deserves to be in jail. This is the same Supreme Court, while rejecting the bail plea of Sanjay Singh, says Sanjay Singh still deserves to be in jail because 336 crore worth of money trail has been prima facie established in the Delhi liquor scam. And Rajdeep Sardesai, a historic day.
Please wait, Adil. Please wait, Adil.
Rajdeep?
Yeah, please finish. You have a full minute. I will give you a full minute uninterrupted. Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, Rajdeep, historic day, 13th February 2024, very few days back, a 3-judge bench led by CJI Chandrachud. What did it tell Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who was representing the Aam Aadmi Party? The Aam Aadmi Party filed a petition in the Supreme Court saying, no, we have not encroached the land of the Delhi High Court. This land was allotted to the NCT way back in 1993 and renewed in 2015. I read out CJI Chandrachud's exact words. Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, you are forcing the court to declare illegal land as legal for your client. Unfortunately, we are unable to do so, and we repeat that the land encroached by your client, the Aam Aadmi Party, should be vacated by June 15th, 2024, and an alternative.
Ma'am, I've listened to you.